it was January of last year that Hamlin suffered that cardiac arrest on Monday Night Football. So pretty neat that he ends up getting his first pick on Monday Night Football and in a dominant Bills win. Take us in the locker room. What are the players thinking at a moment like that? In the half alone, you're up so much, and Hamlin gets that pick.
You're just happy for him. I think even the whole NFL community, when that happened, everybody who's even an arm's length away or a former player or whatever was just like so shell-shocked, so, such a traumatic injury or issue, I should say. And then you're just hoping that he's going to survive, let alone come back and play. And then now he's starting for this defense, and he makes a pick on a Monday night. It's just a special moment. And again, whether you're a Bills fan or not, just a human being, you're so happy for DeMar. And I thought it was a really cool and, like you said, fitting moment for him and this entire organization.
And he's really played well this season, and his play has improved as the season's gone on. Now, this Buffalo Bills team is now 3-0. I get that it's the Jags, but did this performance make a believer out of you?
For 3 years now, Jay, I've been sitting here and I've been crushing the Bills.
Yes.
And I'm here to say I know they don't want me on the bandwagon, but I'm going to try and squeak my way onto that thing.
There's always room.
There's always room. And it's not just because they blew the Jags out, but it's the way they did it. Again, it's 2 weeks in a row. They had minimal penalties. They played very, very clean football. You've had no turnovers. And Josh Allen looks so poised. He looks so comfortable. You see the early throws. Joe Brady and him are cleared on the same page. I love that he slid there. We don't need to take a hit. We use Kincaid. We use Shakir. We use whomever. I mean, the Coltman, the rookie, and he's still got this in his bag. We're scrambling around. What a throw and catch. But this is what I also love. This player here, play action boom. He's looking deep. He's looking deep. It's not there. He checks it down. Jay, 2 years ago and even into last year, we're still throwing that thing deep, and it might be a pick. He looked so mature back there. And then again, I know this looks simple to a viewer at home, but that throw right there I thought was unbelievable. So I will sit here and I will gladly give Bills Mafia and the Bills their due. This is the type of football you want to see from a Super Bowl contending team. They're better than the Jags. They came out, they didn't play to the Jags level, they didn't play sloppy football, they didn't rely on Josh Allen to make hero plays left and right. They came out here and absolutely dominated. The only question mark I have is right now you've beaten the Cardinals, the Miami Dolphins, who seem very fraudulent, and this Jags team that is terrible. You've got a tough schedule coming up.
Yeah.
You've done everything you're supposed to do, especially the last 2 weeks. Keep this going. Keep this going. Keep this style of football into tougher games. But this is such a tremendous start for them.
And Luke alluded to it. They do have a tougher schedule coming up. Ravens, Texans, Aaron Rodgers, and the Jets. That's their next three. We'll see how they do there. Is it time for us to have the Trevor Lawrence conversation? I feel like it's time for us, all of us as football fans, all of us as NFL fans. This guy was so highly touted as the #1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Some bad luck in terms of coaching, absolutely. But you get Doug Peterson in there, and it seemed like things were figured out at the beginning of last year.
Yes.
It kind of tailed off at the end of last year, and now he's lost 8 straight starts. Where do you feel he is in his career right now?
Yeah, I mean, lost 8 straight, and it's been an abomination.
Yeah.
His completion percentage is very, very low. There's turnovers across the board. It's very shocking to see, and it's hard to kind of put your finger on what exactly is happening, because when you think of Doug Peterson, you think of a quarterback-friendly coach. And they just seemingly can't do anything well. And I thought this was the strangest moment. Again, obviously, we're happy for DeMar. But this is a throw that he's got a ton of time. Yeah. He's got a wide, you don't get more open than that. And you just airmail it. And I thought as well, like, Jay, you hear me all the time talk about pre-snap and getting the protection set up. He's played enough football where we shouldn't have, free rushers, and if you have one, it's coming and you have a hot route or you have an answer for that. So for him right now to kind of have what I like to call the yips throwing the ball, and then also to kind of pre-snap be pretty sloppy, and it's not like they don't have weapons. I'm not saying they have all pros across the board, but they certainly have good players that he can throw the ball to. There's a lot of questions about Trevor Lawrence. However, the reality of this league is the problem is going to end with Doug Peterson. You're not going to move on from this contract and from Trevor Lawrence. You're going to move on from your head coach.
1,000%.
And it's a really weird spot because it's hard for me to sit here and say this is Doug Peterson and this offense's fault, the way Trevor Lawrence has executed the offense.